I'm your host, the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez.
Hi, and I'm your co-host, April Towers. Welcome.
And welcome to Kbch Sports Takeover. And today we are covering all things relevant in sports. My usual co-host, Ms. Keisha Brian, is producing today, so we are literally taking over Kbch Sports.
That's right. First today we have Boxing Bill with golf news.
Hello, this is Boxing Bill with your golf news report. In golf news, 21-year-old Jennifer Johnson of the United States wins her first LPGA title at the Mobile Bay Classic in Mobile, Alabama. She birdied 4 of the final 6 holes for a one-stroke victory over Jessica Corder and Pointed on Thatnam. Johnson had only one previous top 10 finish, an 8th place tie at the 2011 Navistar LPGA Classic in Prattville, Alabama. This time she got a win along with a hug and a good job champ from her father, Mike. There wasn't any highlights for the young lady's victory, sad to say, but here is a clip from round 1 with the shot of the day.
Certainly is very keen on learning the ropes here on the LPGA Tour.
Meanwhile, Jennifer Johnson having a good day. This is her approach at 9. Short iron in her hands. Look out. Oh, what a way to finish. How about that?
In other news, Ken Venturi, who won the 1964 U.S. Open while nearing collapse from heat exhaustion and who was later the longtime chief golf analyst for CBS Sports, died Friday afternoon. He was 82.
I lined up the putt, and the putt has to go maybe a little bit to the right. And I hit the putt, and all of a sudden the ball turned left and went in the hole. And I couldn't believe it, and I took off my hat and raised up my arms and said, my God, I've won the Open. And when I went out to pick up my ball, I couldn't reach down, and Ray Floyd picked the ball out from the hole for me. He handed me the ball, and I looked up at a 21-year-old boy. He had tears in his eyes, and that's when I lost it too. And that's when I broke down and walked off there, and it's a moment that I'll never forget. And the ovation still went on until I signed my card. And I think about it, of all the years that I had my accident and the slump, what a comeback it was to be named the United States Open champion.
Thank you, Bill, for that golf update. Now I got a little baseball news for all you baseball fans. Today I'm going to talk the top 3 hitters in baseball and also the top 3 pitchers. I'll start with the best hitters and return later on in the show to give you the best pitchers in baseball. You're not going to get all the King sports knowledge at once, so I'm going to spread it out for all of you. So here's the list of the King's list of the top 3 hitters in baseball from 3 to 1. Number 3, Joey Votto. Votto has consistently been one of the best players in baseball for the past few years. He's the clubhouse leader of the Reds organization, and his play on the field this year is why some young players out there should look up to Joey Votto and his baseball talents. He's a true leader that backs it up with his play on and off the field. This year, Votto is batting .353 with 20 runs batted in and 7 home runs. Now he's just starting to get his power swing going. Votto and the Reds are one of my sleeper teams to win the National League. Number 2, Jean Segura. Segura is the surprise player on this list. He started out the year hot and has not cooled off since. Known for his defensive play, Segura has been making a name for himself with the bat this year. Jean Segura is batting .355 with 20 runs batted in with 14 stolen bases on the year. With Ricky Weeks and Ryan Braun on the team, Jean Segura is the hottest baseball player in Milwaukee. He's a young player, so this is going to be his breakout season. Number 1, Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown last year for the first time in over 30 years. He is easily the best player in baseball, and his numbers so far this year can explain exactly why. Miguel is batting .384 with 49 runs batted in and 12 home runs on the season. Cabrera looks like he might be in the running for the Triple Crown repeat, which has never been done in baseball history. Look for him to lead Detroit Tigers back to the World Series along with Justin Verlander and Prince Fielder. Now we have Linda Brown with an update on the boxing world.
Body, heavy, full, Hello, my name is Linda Brown, reporting from our Kbch studio. Today we will be taking a look into the world of boxing. Set aside a look into the archives. The spotlight is on marvelous Marvin Hagler, one of the most outstanding boxers of all times. Marvin started boxing at the age of 15 in 1979. He had progressed far enough to earn a shot at middleweight championship. Hagler's most famous fight came on April 15, 1985, when he faced Tommy Hearns.
Tremendous right. Hearns appears rubbery. He appeared that way in the second round.
You know, Richard Steele is breaking these fighters very quickly. That's uncharacteristic of him. It's hurting Hagler because he wants to work inside. Hearns is smiling, but he's taking shots.
Another right hand. Hearns turns his back, takes another right. Hearns in deep trouble again. Hearns is down. Hearns is down in the third round and on his back, and he's not going to beat the count.
The most furious rounds of action in boxing history. Marvelous Marvin Hagler had another controversial fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. Hagler lost a 12-round decision that is fiercely debated to this day. My hat goes off to any man or woman that can take a beat down in the ring. And a shout out to Floyd Mayweather on his recent win. The fight took place May 4th, 2013 against Robert Guerrero. Okay, people, that's it for my look into the archives of boxing with marvelous Marvin Hagler. I'm Linda Brown, reporting back to our Kbch team.
Well, thanks, Linda. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Over 6,000 U.S. soldiers have lost their lives in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Over 700,000 U.S. children have a parent who was deployed to Afghanistan or Iraq. Thousands of children have already lost a mom or a dad, in some cases both. Many will not hold or kiss their partner again. Over 58,000 troops remain overseas. Have you thanked a soldier lately, or their loved ones? Fighting day and night for our freedom.
Hey, physicals.
What the heck? H-E double hot dog sticks? Did I just drink your... Got a potty mouth? Use Orbit's gum.
Eat, drink, chew, Orbit.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned. In another episode of the Biblical Blame Game, the anti-gay Westboro Baptist Church is charging NBA player Jason Collins with being the catalyst for the deadly tornado in Oklahoma. Meanwhile, the unholy offspring of the church leader, Fred Phelps Jr., is linking homosexuality to the natural disaster that killed 24 people. On Twitter, Phelps referred to Oklahoma sportsman Kevin Durant, who he says offended God by saying no one has the right to judge the first openly gay basketball player. In related news, Oklahoma City isn't just a place where thunderstar Kevin Durant lives these days, it is home. So as he watched the horrifying images Monday as the tornado ripped through suburban Moore, the emotions came bubbling to surface, and so did the need to help. Durant pledged $1 million for the tornado relief through his foundation on Tuesday, eager to help a devastated area begging to be rebuilt. Now we'll see what Ms. D has to say about sports gossip.
Hi, I'm Ms. D, and I'm here to talk that talk with some sports gossip. Phoenix Suns ball player Shannon Brown has been all smiles lately. Last week, his wife, singer Monica, confirmed that the couple were 5 months pregnant via Twitter before her performance in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This will be Shannon's second child and the singer's third child from previous relationships. Miami Heat player Chris Bosh and Adrian Bosh couldn't have thought of a cuter way to announce their second child. They used their 1-year-old son Jackson and Chris' 4-year-old daughter Trinity from a previous relationship to make their big announcement while holding chalkboard signs. Congrats are in order to both moms. Now, just in case you missed it, rapper Jay-Z gave up his share of the Brooklyn Nets after deciding to create a sports agency. He has partnered up with CAA Sports to launch Roc Nation Sports and has officially signed New York Yankees second baseman Robinson Cano and Notre Dame's women's college basketball superstar Skylar Diggins. Ms. Diggins received her degree in business over the weekend and a brand new Mercedes-Benz with a handwritten note from Jay personally. After a year of being engaged, Miami Heat player and fiancée Savannah Brinson have finally set a date. The two are set to wed this year in San Diego, California, September 13th through the 15th. LeBron proposed to Savannah at a New Year's party back in 2012 with the help of his teammate Dwayne Wade, who held the $300,000 ring until James was ready to pop the question. Will free agent Chris Paul be leaving the Clippers, or will he be coming back next season? Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban and Chris Paul were seen talking at Tiger Woods' $10,000 poker night presented by World Poker Tour to benefit the Tiger Woods Foundation at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas over the weekend. Reports say that they were spotted talking for about 10 minutes, and supposedly Mark Cuban sold the Mavs pretty hard to CP. However, only time will tell on what Chris will decide. Well, that's all for today. I'm Miss D. See you next week. Bye.
Thanks, Miss D. Now for the rest of my baseball news. Now I'm going to get into the top 3 pitchers in baseball from 3 to 1. We have had some excellent pitchers so far this year. To me, I look at all aspects of pitchers, not just wins and losses, but ERA and strikeouts as well. Let's get started with the Kings' top 3 pitchers. Number 3, Clay Buchholz. Buchholz is off to the best start of his career. He is 6-0 with a 1.78 ERA on the season for the Red Sox. He has allowed 13 earned runs with 62 strikeouts. He is the Red Sox ace, and he's starting to pitch like it. Number 2, Matt Harvey of the New York Mets. Harvey is the new young stud on the block, taking over Steven Strasburg's spot as the hottest young pitcher in baseball. So far this season, Harvey is 5-0 with a 1.55 ERA, giving up 11 earned runs on the year with 68 strikeouts. Number 1, Clayton Kershaw. So what, I might be a little biased, but this is my segment, so it's going to be my rules. On a more serious note, Mr. Kershaw has 5 wins with 2 losses. He has the lowest ERA in baseball at 1.35 with a 72 strikeouts, which is second only to Yu Darvish, who has 86. Darvish's ERA is 3, or else he would have made the Kings list.
Now we have Brian Rich with the Takeover.
Good morning. I'm your host, Keisha Brian, along with the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez. And today we are bringing you a special NFL Rookies edition of the Takeover. We will be discussing which rookies will have the biggest impacts on their teams this coming season. How are you doing today?
Feeling like $1 million.
Really? You look like $1 million.
Oh, tthank you. I wish I had $1 million.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
Work in progress.
Work in progress.
Work in progress.
Gonna get there one day.
Hopefully.
No, I'm getting there.
Okay. We'll start off with my picks first, if you don't mind.
Oh,
ladies first?
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Chivalry's not dead.
It's not.
No.
Thank you. My first pick is Eric Fisher. Fisher is strong in the run game and brings pass protection prowess to keep Alex Smith upright in Reed's West Coast offense. And with Kansas City re-signing Brandon Albert, the Chiefs line is looking pretty good. So I think that's a good look for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Next, I have Tavon Austin, a wide receiver out of West Virginia. And he may be the weapon Sam Bradford and the Rams offense desperately needs. Austin has open field ability that should translate immediately into the NFL. He is also a legitimate threat at the running back and return positions. So I think he will help out the Rams in that aspect. My third and fourth picks are the Green Bay running back duos, Eddie Lacy out of Alabama and Jonathan Franklin from UCLA, who are amongst the most talented runners in this year's draft class, who absolutely complement each other. With Lacy's power inside runner style and Franklin's 3-down playmaking ability, they should give the Packers some much-needed balance to their offense. And the last choice I have is DeAndre Hopkins out of Clemson, who may be the most pro-rated receiver from the draft. He has constant hands, runs precise routes, and has excellent body control over the field. He can be that second go-to receiver across from Andre Johnson that the Texans need. So those are my picks. Rich, who are your top 5 rookies for the 2013-2014 season?
Well, first, let me go back to your last pick. As I seen earlier, that's a great pickup right there.
Thank you.
He's going to be Andre Johnson's replacement. And I was just talking to one of my buddies last night. Shout out to Malcolm Waxy. I was talking to him, and he was saying the same thing about Hopkins, how he's going to be probably one of the main guys on the Texans, and Andre Johnson finally has some help.
Yes.
I just think that was an outstanding pick by the Texans, and he is probably the most ready wide receiver out of all of the wide receivers going pro this year.
I agree. So who do you have? Who's on your list?
I'm going to start with, I'm going to save my best for last.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with D. Milner out of 6'1". He's 6 feet 1 inch, 199 out of Alabama. And he's Darrelle Revis's replacement, and this guy is amazing physical specimen. He's very productive in press coverage because of his ability to twist his hips and turn to run without losing a step. He's the total package, and I think by the end of 2013 he will be the Jets' #1 cornerback threat. So yeah, I look for big things out of D. Milner. And right after him, I have Star Latui. Latui was supposed to be maybe #3 pick overall, and he got picked number 13 by the Carolina Panthers. They already have 2 great DNs that are very young, Charles Johnson and Greg Hardy, along with linebacker Luke Kuechly, who's one of the top young linebackers in all the NFL this year.
Okay.
That move right there, instantly, if it works out and Latui lives up to his form, the Panthers will probably be one of the top 3 defenses in all football. Wow. I mean, Latui has the potential to be very dominant with his smarts and his physical skills. He's just a great player, or he's going to be a great player. And next, I got Jarvis Jones, who was drafted number 17 overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know how he fell to that number 17, but this guy probably, for me, is one of the best defensive players in the draft, the best linebacker in the draft. And he's James Harrison's replacement, and he's playing along the other side of Lamar Woodley, who didn't have a great year last year because he was by himself. And I think with the addition of Jarvis Jones, Lamar Woodley turns back to Pro Bowl form, and this year the Pittsburgh Steelers actually can get some pressure on the quarterback and get back to that Pittsburgh Steeler type of defense that they're accustomed to having, because last year was just a horrible year for Steeler fans, and I know a few of those Steeler fans, and they were not happy about last year. So hopefully that happens for Pittsburgh. And my 4th pick is Monty Ball. Monty Ball out of Wisconsin. He got drafted to the Denver Broncos, and he fits right in for what Denver wants to do. I wouldn't say he's an every down back, but the Peyton Manning and Denver probably throw almost 60% of the time. So I think he'll be a good change of pace, and I believe that he'll give the Broncos exactly what they need to take that extra step in the AFC West. And I hate it because I'm a Raider fan, but the Broncos are just looking extremely dominant. And finally, my most impactful player would be Tyler Eifert out of Notre Dame. The Bengals drafted him. He's 6'6", 251 out of Notre Dame, and Andy Dalton has just been hurting for more weapons to have. He has A.J. Green. They got Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and they got a couple of other wide receivers, but they need that extreme tight end to take over, because as we can tell in the NFL, tight ends are starting to be real valuable, and Tyler Eifert is the best tight end in this year's draft. A lot of people compare him to Jimmy Graham out of New Orleans. So Tyler Eifert, I believe, is going to be the next big thing as far as tight ends. He's, with Gronk out, I think Tyler Eifert is going to step up as being one of the elite tight ends this year as a rookie too. So I look for him to make an impact right away.
Okay. Well, it looks like we have some pretty good rookies on that list. My 5, your 5. I think there's a lot to be looked out for in the NFL. Why don't you give everybody your contact information as far as your Twitters and your YouTubes and things like that, so they know how to check you out when they need to.
Okay. Find me on Instagram, King of LA Sports, YouTube, The King of LA Sports. You can find me on Twitter, Rich Lopez, KOLASE. And go ahead, Ms. Brian.
And you can catch me on YouTube at Keisha Brian. And we thank you very much for joining us here at the Takeover. Until the next time, may the sports be with you.
And don't be afraid to roll the dice.
Thank you guys for another episode of The Takeover. Personally, I can't wait for NFL season to start. So let's go to commercials. We'll be right back.
Pull that Puerto Rican kid.
You want to fight him? You fought before.
Decide to put up the $5 million purse.
Well, there you have it. It shall be done.
And I'm gonna need a trainer.
What's going on up here?
Daddy is now.
You're upside down on your mortgage, you understand?
I've seen that like 3 times.
Hey, yo, Mr. C.
Huh?
Hey, my brother was at the titty bar last night, and he said you was choking brothers out. I mean, what's up? Is it true?
You're suspended without pay.
They have these smoker fights all over Wilmington, Camden, Baltimore. That could keep us afloat.
Just know about this.
The two men fighting for the championship are brothers.
What if I told you that every 10 minutes, someone in the U.S. was infected with HIV? That every year, 50,000 Americans become infected. 44% are African American, and out of that, 29% are women. That 1 in 32 African American women will be diagnosed in their lifetime. That the rate of African Americans living with HIV is 8 times higher than non-blacks, and that we are 20% more likely to die from the infection. Now, what if I told you that 1 in 5 people who have HIV don't even know it? In less time than it took for you to watch this commercial, you could have been tested. It literally only takes 1 minute. Isn't your life worth more than 60 seconds? Get tested. Know your status.
Welcome back. Well, the NFL is coming up. Are you excited?
I'm excited, and I'm ready with my Dallas Cowboys cap and jersey.
No.
Oh yes, it's
Dallas
on.
Cowboys?
I have hope. You know, I'm sorry, but they've been my team for 15 years, so I better stick to the Texas team of mine.
Well, are you a Tony Romo fan?
I am. I was an Aikman fan, but Tony Romo's doing good. I know a lot of people, talk bad about him, that he hasn't been doing good. I think he's been doing an excellent job. It's that he just needs support from his team, and I think he's going to get it this year. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, not too sold on Tony Romo, but
It's okay.
that's another story. You want to know what I think, you can look at all my other episodes of The Takeover where I talk about Tony Romo.
Oh, no, I don't think I
Okay.
want to do that. But he's cute. You need to give me that. He's good eye candy for the girls. Sorry.
Okay.
You guys get the cheerleaders, we get the cute quarterbacks.
Well, Jessica Simpson thought he was cute for a while.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah, well, it'd be cuter if he would win some championships or win a playoff game.
You're
That might
right.
be cute
I'm not gonna
for
argue
some
with you
other
on that.
Cowboy fans. But yeah, my team is the Raiders. Let's give a clap for the Raiders. The Raiders aren't
They
doing
get
too
one
well, but we're trying to get there. They play the Cowboys actually November 28th this year.
Okay,
So
then
yeah,
we're there, right?
I have a buddy that's actually going to be out there,
Mhm.
so I'm going to actually try to go out to Texas, see if I can make that happen.
Oh, that stadium is awesome.
Yeah, I heard it was. I want to make my first appearance in that stadium. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll welcome you with open arms.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
cool like that.
I'll be wearing the opposite team's jersey though.
I'll get the beers, you get the hot dogs. Okay,
Deal.
let's go to my story. So Beckham will hang up his boots, or should we say his cleats. Now is the time to finish. Nothing will ever completely replace playing the game I love. However, I feel like I'm genuinely excited about what lies ahead. Beckham, who turned 38 this month, has long said he wanted to go out on top as a player, and he will, in his final game, May 26 in France. In his 20-year career, Beckham has won domestic league titles in England with Manchester United, in Spain with Real Madrid, and in the U.S., where he helped the Galaxy win consecutive MLS crowns, making him the only English player to win titles in 4 countries. Well, thank you, Beckham, for putting MLS on the map. Enjoy your well-deserved retirement. Just don't stop making those cute commercials that we love. Here's John with our weekly sports forecast.
Thanks, guys. I am Jonathan Greathouse, and this is your sports forecast. Today, 4 o'clock, we got the Bruins and Rangers. Bruins looking for the sweep of the New York Rangers. And the number 1 seed Hawks in Detroit taking on the Red Wings. That's at 5. And the series, Hawks have the series lead 2-1 in that. Kings and Sharks at Staples at 7:30. That series even at 2-2. Go Kings, we can do it. Halos Royals, Urban Santana, the former Angel, going against his former team, the Angels. And Joe Blanton of the Angels, still looking for his first win. He's at 0-7. Friday, Pacers Heat, go Pacers. That's at 5:30. Saturday, 6 p.m., Grizzlies Spurs. Grizzlies down 0-2 against the Spurs. Hopefully they can bounce back. And Sunday, Heat Pacers for Game 3. That's in Indiana, and that's a 5:30 start time. And I want to give a shout out to my boy Michael Trout, who became the youngest player in American League history to hit for the cycle on Tuesday. And that's all from me. Back to the king of LA sports and April in the studio.
Thank you, John. I really enjoyed your story and the graphics. It's pretty cool. So what do you think?
Well, okay. I can't hold this in. Where's my camera? My camera. Hold up. I'm in my camera. There you go. Thank you so much.
So just get rid of me.
Last night, the Miami Heat played. They played the Indiana Pacers, and to make a long story short, these guys, the calls they get compared to other teams are just ridiculous. I mean, I was watching Tyler Hansbrough get thrown to the ground, and then on the other side of the court, LeBron just barely get tapped and they call fouls. Like, to me, I honestly believe that this is the NBA officials trying to let the Heat win, like, because it's better for business. I personally think they should let them play basketball. There might not be a lot of exciting things about the Indiana Pacers, but the Pacers are an old school basketball team. They play hard-nosed basketball. They block the rim. They have big men. They play the game like it should be played. And just because they're not as exciting or as dramatic as the Heat, then I don't think it's fair that these other teams aren't getting the calls that the Heat get. I found an interesting stat last night. LeBron had 5 fouls last night, and then the announcer told everybody that for the whole season, that was, I believe, the second time that LeBron had 5 fouls on the whole season. That is just ridiculous. He plays good defense and he's very aggressive. And for him to only get 5 fouls while doing that is just amazing to me. And I mean, I picked the Pacers to win this series. I still think they're going to win this series. Paul George is emerging, and it's just sad to see that these officials are literally taking it away from the players. They're playing so hard. Pacers didn't even play a good game, but they took it to the Heat. They gave them that work, and then they handed the Heat the game. It was ridiculous. The referees took away the game, and I can't believe it. It was like watching someone steal candy, or it was watching people steal from right in front of you, and you couldn't do nothing about it. And even the Miami Heat fans that are true basketball fans got to know that that's not right. These officials are totally favoring the Heat, and I can't believe it. Like, I was watching the game, and it just extremely makes me upset. So upset. And hopefully on Friday, the Pacers rebound, because I think that's what they'll do. So that's my thoughts on last night's game. I couldn't hold it in no longer.
I can't wait to watch a game with you. You seem like you get into it.
Oh, I love it.
Hardcore, huh?
Yes, I'm hardcore with my teams.
Well, thank you for having me as a co-host. I really enjoyed this
no
time.
No problem. It was my pleasure.
It was cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you all for
tuning in.
Thank you for
watching.